Hi, this is Kate from Kate Forman Yoga, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit of a trick to lower from plank all the way to the ground without flopping down. I know, it's so hard to do this, but we're going to get to it today. Before we get into it, make sure you tap that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all my latest tips and tricks to get you into your yoga practice and build a healthier and stronger you. Let's get into it. If you are struggling with lowering to the ground in plank pose, chances are your plank looks something like this, maybe. So the first step, lift your hips up so they're in line with your shoulders. The next step, try not to let them plop all the way down. So how do you do that? You're gonna bring your knees to the ground. I don't want you to feel like by bringing your knees to the ground, you're somehow not doing the pose. A lot of my students get that in their head, but that's not what we're doing. We're actually making you stronger by bringing your knees down. I always tell my students this: you wouldn't go into the gym and start bench pressing your body weight. You would never do that. You would start lighter and work your way up to that weight. So why would you expect that you could just start doing that in yoga? Because lowering to the ground, you're lowering your whole body weight down. So we have to find a way to decrease the amount of weight in your arms, in your core, so that you can get stronger, and then eventually you are going to be able to lower to the ground in a solid line with your knees off the ground. But the first thing to do is to bring your knees to the ground, because that decreases the amount of body weight that you have to lower down. So what I want you to first start by doing is notice where your knees are in relation to your hip. A lot of times I'll see people stack their knees right under their hips, and then they'll be in this like weird position to lower. That's A, not going to feel great on your shoulders. B, you're not going to be able to feel like you're in a plank. You actually want to have your knees behind your hips. So you're going to walk your knees back. From here, you're not going to drop your hips, right? That was what we went over at the very beginning. If you haven't seen my other video about plank pose and how to deal with wrist pain, go watch it, because it talks about where your hips are in space. I'll link it above. So you're not going to let your hips drop. You're going to keep your hips in line. You're going to squeeze your core. And if you don't know how to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to cough, and then you're going to hold the end of that cough in your stomach. And then from here, you're going to lower all the way down. Okay? If that's too tough, you're going to shorten the distance that you have to lower. You're going to take your blocks, your pillow, your blanket, whatever it is you have, and you're going to stack them, and then you're lowering to that. And that's where you start, and then you can also work on pushing up there. If that's too easy, you slide one of your blocks off to the side, you get a smaller pillow, you lower down, and then you can work on pushing up, and then you just start to work your way towards the floor. Eventually, it's going to start to get easier. Eventually, you're going to feel like you can progress it up to that full plank with your knees off the ground. But this is how you do it. This is how you get stronger, so that you're not just doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. Okay? Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, how that went. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful. Follow me on all social media platforms. I don't know what my hands are doing there. Follow me across all social media platforms if you want other yoga tips and tricks as well. And stay tuned for the next video. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.